All right, we're on our way for a rock and roll holiday. Looks like everybody's pretty much in order. A little bit of carnage near the back of the pack. And suddenly I think our leader, our TQ man, is on his lid over there coming down on the far right-hand side. That lets number 2, Dan Griffin, and Doug Lightcap through. Paul is right behind Brandon, and then there's a big gap. Somebody else on his lid through the ripple turn, and there they come across the start-finish line. That looks like Doug, Dan, Brandon, and Paul. Across the start-finish line, all 4 of them in the back jumps together. Doug's got a bit of a lead on Dan Griffin.
Oh, come on.
Then it's Brandon Marsh and Paul. Through the ripple turn, the front 2, then Dan, then Paul. Here we come into the rhythm section. Huge gap back to 5th place. Paul's working hard to try and catch up. He's a little bit behind Brandon Marsh there in the Losi. And the first 2 are right next to each other. We've got ourselves one heck of a buggy race here. We've got a minute and 20 seconds down and 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go. This is a long one, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Lightcap still leading them out. Extends the lead just a little bit, gets it sideways coming around through the whoopsies. And here we go. Looks like Paul is catching up to Brandon Marsh pretty good. Lightcap's on his lid there in the rhythm section, gets out of it in second. Marsh tries to overjump, almost gets him and does, makes it stick around the hairpin. And down the straightaway they go. Looks like Griffin's got just a little bit of a lead now. Lightcap hangs it up. There's Marsh. Yeah, Marsh into the tube. Lightcap hangs it up back there in the back section. Sinclair gets by. And we've got Griffin in the lead. And they're all 4 right together there. That's Dan Griffin in the Associated in first place. Brandon Marsh in the Losi second. Paul Sinclair in the X Factory X6 squared is third. Doug Lightcap running fourth. It's a 33 for Griffin, a 33, a 33, and Lightcap comes back with a 35. Running order after 4 laps, Griffin, Marsh, Sinclair, Lightcap, Schumann, Johnson, Tito, Stay, McCoy, and Eiler. This is the A main. This is for all the points, all the glory, everything. Griffin stretching out his lead a little bit. Paul sort of skies it there in the rhythm section, trying to catch up to Marsh. And the 3 of them are slowly pulling away from Lightcap. 33.5 for Griffin, 33.8 for Marsh, 33.8 for Paul. The gap is 1.7 seconds between Griffin and Marsh. It's 1.3 between Marsh and Paul, and it's 1.6 between Paul and Lightcap. They're beginning to come up on the back markers now. You guys watch out, those are the leaders behind you. The pink car with the yellow front wheel, those are all the leaders right behind you. It looks like Marsh has gotten ahead of Griffin. So once he takes over, Sinclair's still behind there.
I just started racing back in.
That's right, it's Marsh, Griffin, Sinclair, and Lightcap in that order. Okay, pink car, that's, again, some leaders coming behind you there. The pink car with the yellow front wheels. Please go and let them all by, if you will.
I ain't stopping.
Let's see, there we go. There's Brandon Marsh. Griffin bounces it in the rhythm section. And Paul closes right up on Griffin's back door there. We've got somebody running in between first and second there. That looks like, who's that on his lid? Marsh again. The marshal throws him down on his lid. That hurts. And Paul gets by. Okay, the guy in the yellow and blue car just crossing the line. Thank you. That's the leader behind you. Then second place, Doug Lightcap, as Sinclair and Griffin have problems. We've got 4 minutes and 50 seconds down and 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go. 8 laps in. Marsh with a 33.8, Lightcap a 34.6. Griffin and Paul don't want to hear about it. Rod Schumann with a 33.6. fast lap of the race. Where the heck is that here? Oh, it's not showing me. Yes, it is. Fast lap of the race. Looks like it's a 32.7 by Dan Griffin.
I'm not having that.
There he goes down. Let's try and pick up the leaders here again. Brandon Marsh with a 4-second lead now. There he goes through the ribbon section. Doug Lightcap in second, considerably behind him. Dan Griffin right on his back door, and Paul Sinclair chasing Griffin. So the battle is on for second place right now. The gap is 4.6 seconds between Marsh and Lightcap. It's about 5 tenths between Lightcap and Griffin, and Sinclair is a further 1 second behind Griffin. They're coming through the whoopsie section now. There's Marsh in the ribbon section. Marsh is on the straight. Here comes Griffin through the ribbon section. There's Lightcap with Paul right behind him, and the orange car in the middle of them. Thank you, orange car. Marsh with a 33.4. Griffin with a 33.3 makes up a pinch. Lightcap has a bad lap. Sinclair not quite so bad. 5 seconds between Marsh and Griffin, and 4 seconds between Griffin and Lightcap. We've got 6:45 down and 2:15 left to go, drivers. There's Griffin getting on the straight. Lightcap is in the middle of the ribbon section. Paul puts it on the pipe, and now he's in the ribbon section. So we've got them split out now at the top. With 7 minutes down, it's Marsh, Griffin, Lightcap, Sinclair, Schumann, Eiler, Johnson, Tito, Stain, McCoy in that order. Let's see. All right, there is Brandon Marsh with the white wheels and the Losi car. Crosses the line there with a 33.3. Let's follow him around. He skies over the doubles nicely, skies the big jump in the back. Now the little jump in the back comes up over the big table at the end of the back straightaway. Now he's on the middle table and down over the little jump into the whoopsies. Got to keep it tight on the pipe so you're not on the wrong side of the jump. Does that well. Through the jump turn, you can see him just eating up that car that's ahead of him. Through the rhythm section, very nicely done. That's Brandon Marsh for you, onto the straightaway. Crosses the line with a 33.9. Dan Griffin. Where's Dan? Dan Griffin with a 32.2. The gap is 2.5 seconds. Griffin has to fly to catch him. Let's see if we can find Griffin. There's Marsh going around the bend, and that's Griffin. You see guys, that's Dan Griffin trying to catch him. They are about the length of that side little straightaway with the double apart. There's Marsh coming up onto the middle table, and Griffin coming down the end table. Marsh over the little jump and into the whoop section. Griffin over the little jump and into the whoop section. Marsh over the jump turn. Griffin, gets it on the wrong side of the hill. That gives Marsh a little bit of breathing room. It's Marsh, Griffin, Lightcap, and Sinclair. This race is over. Brandon Marsh, you're done. Tito, you're done. Joe McCoy, Jamie Stay, you're done. Dan Griffin, you're done.
Oh, dude. That was a good race.
Cross the line, and you are done.
I'm glad you're back there with me.
At least we had a good race.
Trophy, you're done.